Okay, in your template package, and it depends on which package you get and which template you get, we include additional or alternate home pages with different types of components at the top, typically sliders or videos in the background. In this example, in the Ultra template, we have index v2. The content of the page itself, from the regular index to the v2, is the same. The actual body is the same. What changes is the header. If we look at the demonstration right here, this particular page has a slider image as opposed to a static image that you would see on the regular home page. So this is called the Bootstrap slider. The Bootstrap slider loads a background image. It has some caption, a description, and a button, and the back and forth like so. To change this, we're going to open up the library and the sliders and the Bootstrap slider folder, and then finally the Bootstrap slider library page. So really there's 4 or 5 pieces to this particular component that we're going to learn about in this video. One will change the image, we'll change the text, the button link, and the timing. So the timing, we'll start with that because it's right at the top of the page. The timing is called the data interval. Right now it's set to almost an infinite number, simply because we're not sure where you're going to want that to be, and it really is going to depend on the picture, and it's going to depend on the content. The data interval is set in milliseconds. So if you want this to be 15 seconds, we're going to type in 15,000. If you want it to be 5 seconds, 5,000. And that's it. That changes the amount of time each slide takes. I recommend 5 to 8 seconds minimum, and this will depend on the speed of your server. Right? It may be a little faster, a little slower. So with that said, the next piece we have here are the actual slides, the images that we're going to be using. Now, to display this better in this video, I'm going to move my file panel out of view so we can actually look. Now the slides, the images, if you go into design view, you'll see a picture, and below it is the title, the description, and the button. Then the next picture, and then its title, its description, and its button, and so on. In code view, we have, I'll just space this out a little bit better here, right? We have the carousel items. So the first item is always going to be set to active because that's the image we want displayed. To change the background image, really, it's a matter of looking into the images folder right here. So we have the sliders, the Bootstrap. We have an images folder just for this slider. The images that we're loading in are located in here. I recommend to change the images, put your own images into the same folder. Look at how we've named the files. Everything is lowercase. We have full screen hyphen slider, so full screen. We connect the two words with a hyphen and then the digit afterwards. There's no spaces in the file name. Spaces in the file name is a practice that's not very, it's tolerable for newer browsers. Older browsers can choke on that. So we want to make sure when we're naming files for use in any type of image component or even the web page itself, make sure that you use lowercase and you have connectors like hyphens or underscores to connect multiple words in the file name. So with that said, all you have to do to change the background image is find the image name right here and change it, right? Or you can just simply create your own image, call it full screen slider 1, and drop it into this folder to replace the existing image. So when we're using a full screen slider, that's a full height of the web page, the ideal image size is 1920 by 1080 pixels. So 1920 pixels wide by 1080 pixels high. And that's a true HD high definition resolution, or a 16:9 ratio. So that's to change an image. To change the title, the description, and the text, you can do this in code view. I think it's actually easier to do it in code than it is in the design view, but you can pick whatever you like, whatever you're comfortable with. That's the title, that's the description, that's the button, text, and link. So if you want to just change that and it's located right under the image. So image first, title, description, button name second. It's just regular text at this point in time. You can just change it, or you can just go into code view, highlight the text in white, and change it to something else. For the button itself, you can actually select the tag here, and this is where I want to put the file list back into view. You can just select it, use the point to file tool down here, and point to whatever page you want the click here to learn more button, or whatever you happen to name it, whatever you want it to be. So for adding more sliders, we're going to go to the very last slider. So if you want to have more than 3, we're going to go to the very last one, and we're looking for the carousel item, or better yet, excuse me, in design view, scroll down, click on the last image, go down to this piece here, this quick tag selector, and we're looking for carousel item. We want to click it. Click on carousel item so it's highlighted. Go to code view. See, it's already highlighted for you. Copy. Go down to where the highlighted piece ends. Put your cursor and hit the space bar a bunch of times to give yourself room, and paste. Now you can just go in, change the image, change the text and the button name, and you're good to go.